If you are a trader of Bitcoin or you've owned a stock in Bitcoin, you're probably wondering what's happening with Bitcoin these days. A lot of the analysts and traders would tell you that Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency market was hand in hand with the stock market. So if the stock market was going up, Bitcoin would go up. If the stock market was going down, Bitcoin would go down. But in the recent days, Bitcoin has been trending in a different direction. It's gone into a trend of its own. And what exactly is that trend? Where do you see Bitcoin in the next couple days, weeks, or months? So let's look at it analytically and predict and use our analysis looking at previous chart patterns to see what's going to happen and what's in store for it. So to do that, let's look at the weekly. Right now I have the Bitcoin futures in front of me and I'm looking at the weekly charts for Bitcoin. So I've got three lines. These three lines, the blue line that you see here is the 200 period moving average. The purple line is the 50 period moving average. And the yellow line is the 20 period moving average. So that's just the three lines that I have. I don't personally look at too many indicators. I feel that there is a lot of information provided just by looking at this chart, and it'll tell me a lot about it. So let's look at what it's telling me right now. So the Bitcoin started off in 2018, a pretty lackluster performance. It was around, this is just the future. So Bitcoin's been around for a while, so just hang in with me. But since the futures market opened, it's been like pretty lackluster. It's gone down, it's gone up, very volatile. This was never a trading opportunity anywhere between this. But then suddenly, around the mid of October 2020, it started skyrocketing from 12,000. It went all the way up to 60,000. And if any of you guys were traders in that huge bull market, you're probably millionaires right now if you had a chance to sell it at that stage. But if you held on, and I've been riding this huge wave up and down, you're probably sweating right now, wondering what's going to happen. So let's look at this further. So Bitcoin is definitely one of the most volatile indexes or stocks in the cryptocurrency or the stocks market as well, because it just moves so much of percentage wise daily or weekly, and like you'll see big candles up, big candles down. As you can see here in May of 2021, it did fall down like a lot, from all the way from like 60,000, it went down to 35,000, so or 30,000. So that's like if you had purchased it at 60, you basically lost half your revenue. So and then it again bounced back up. So if you bought it here, you would have made money. So let's focus on this now. This is where it is today, and let's decide what's happening to it. So if you look at, this is the weekly. I'll dive into the daily very soon, but I just wanted to show perspective on how the weekly is performing. It has been kind of choppy in this area. Hasn't shown too much of direction. We can't really see, is this bottoming out? Now, the big support that you would see is on the 200 period moving average line. So if I was to predict where is it going to head, right now it's far away from the 20 period moving average line. So it may touch the 20 period moving average line and then decide, is it going to go up or down? It may also try to touch the 200 period moving average line, which is the 24,000 mark. And the reason I say that is that it's so close to the 200. If there is any bad news that may come, and the news can really sway Bitcoin into either direction. So if the news is good, it's going to touch and go upwards towards the 37,000 mark. If it's bad, it'll touch towards the 24 or 23,000 mark. So that's where it's looking. But in terms of where it stands right now, it seems to be in a range between 32 and 28. So let's look at the daily. Daily will give us a little better picture of what's happening and why is it in a range. So in terms of analyzing stocks or any charts, it could be like Bitcoin, it could be any charts, any candlestick charts. The market does have a tendency, if it ever is away from this yellow line, which is the 20 period moving average line, it does have a tendency to go closer towards it. So as you can see, this is on the daily chart, the market moved away from the 20 period moving average line, and now it's going towards it. So it's going towards it by just staying flat in this case, where it's kind of in a range right now. So the 28,000, as I said before, to the 31,000 is kind of the range that it is in. If you are outside of the Bitcoin market, I would advise you not to step in right now, because it seems to be in a range. Like, it could go down or it could go up. So if it goes up, if it breaks through this 31,000 barrier, there is a tendency that it may go up to 35,000. It did intraday, like just touch this line and then go back. But what I'm looking for, and what you should be looking for, is you should look for this market to break over this. Okay, and when I say break over, this candle has to end above this line and then end there for the day. The next candle should be up here, and that's when you should get into the market if you are interested in getting into the Bitcoin market. Otherwise, where it stands right now, I would advise you just stay, put on your your lazy boy, get it out, and just like kind of watch it, because this is not the time to get in. If it falls below this line, then I would say, okay, maybe it's the time to short the market. If you are interested and understand what shorting the markets is, maybe that's a good time. But always stick to buying or selling closer to the moving average lines, because that's where you could stand and make a better bang for your buck. Now, before I just wanted to touch quickly on the monthly time frames, because the monthly is also giving you a big picture. So the reason why I look at monthly is I want to know what is in store for Bitcoin for this month. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Is it going to stand still? And Bitcoin for this month right now, it's gone below the 20 period moving average line and it's heading lower. So it went down to 25 and now it's standing here. So if I look at the monthly, my gut feeling is that it may tend to go lower. It may go closer to the 25. So if that happens, yes, if you're a shorter of the market or a short seller of the market, you could gain some profits by selling it closer to the 25,000. Now, that's just in case if Bitcoin is your cup of tea and you like to trade Bitcoin. There's so many stocks that you could short sell, but if Bitcoin's a cup of tea, then yeah, this is where you could go. But by just looking at the chart, it seems to be heading in a downward direction. So just keep that in mind. Be cautious when you trade, and use your own advice, use your own judgment into making good informed decisions. So always read through, analyze, make sure you have your stop losses in place, and then take decisions from there. So I hope this was useful. I've given you 3 different perspectives. So there's a daily, weekly, and the monthly, and just giving you what's out there, what's a possibility of happening. Bitcoin right now is very weak, so I would say stay out or just stay on the sidelines with it, and just wait. There would be good buying opportunities when you should be staying and getting into the market, and there are times where it's better to just hold your ground and stay out of the market, because there could be better opportunities with better risk reward ratios coming up in the future months as well. So with that, thank you, and I hope this was helpful. Do write down in the comments what you found helpful, what you would like to see more of. Is there a different time frame that you would like me to talk about? And do you have a different view about Bitcoin? Let me know that as well. So with that, thank you, and I hope to see you in a different video very soon.